here's what it is. And I mean, all of us should be familiar with this because it existed back then too. He's going to Dallas where there are crazy right-wingers. The John Birch Society is out there. They're going to kill him. It's terrible. I hope the right-wingers don't disgrace America with our president over there. It's going to be a disgrace for conservatives. They're going to... And then he goes over there, and who kills him? A fucking dirty communist. A filthy piece of shit left-winger. Kills the president in Dallas, Texas. This is called... What is this called? This is called cognitive dissonance. And even after it happened, you had people on the news going, I hope those right-wingers feel happy they got their pound of flesh. John Birch Society closed down in Dallas, Texas. Like right-wingers were like, we're so sorry. Like, we didn't... It wasn't you. It was a dirty communist. The enemy has always been the left. Always. Almost every single political assassination in this country was committed by left-wingers, by radical left-wingers. Every single one, except for Martin Luther King. Every other, radical or political assassination committed by the radical left. Even Lincoln was assassinated by a fucking actor.
Yep.
And if that isn't a left-winger, I don't know what to tell you.
It's true.
So, I mean, this is the reality of it. So, for 60 years now, you've had people trying to cloud the issue because the cognitive dissonance of the fact that it needed to be a right-winger or some government right-wing blah, 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 or anything except for what Kennedy actually was. He was not killed for civil rights. He wasn't killed because he opposed any crime. He was a victim of the Cold War. That's all it was. And a lot of people who thought that we should be friendly with the Soviets and that this and that, communism, the utopia of communism, a lot of those people, it broke their brains that like their allies are the ones that killed this great utopian president. And they've never been able to deal with that. And we're sitting there going, we're humoring them. We're going, maybe, I don't know. You're right. It seems weird. It isn't weird at all. This is like a basic by the books murder case. If this happened to anyone else, you'd sit there. Okay, so you got a president who goes out. He's got 2 bullet wounds. The bullet tracks go right back up to the window. You got a nasty communist up there. His nest, his palm prints on the rifle, which was thrown over. You got a receipt from where he got the rifle. There's no other evidence of anyone else anywhere. The guy is immediately after the assassination. He leaves the book depository. He is in flight. Okay. He's fleeing the scene. He runs away. He goes home. He gets a pistol. A cop stops him. He shoots the cop because the cop stopped him because he answered the description of the white guy in the window with the rifle. So he shoots the cop. Then he goes to the movie theater and he hides in a movie theater with a gun. 2 police without paying. He didn't pay. He goes in there. He sits there and waits. 2 cops come in to confront him and they don't, you know what? He doesn't go, what's the matter? What do you, no, he gets up, he pulls his gun on them and this is a guy who's guilty.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not guilty.
And, it's so clear, like, if this had happened to anyone else, if this was like, your brother or something like that was murdered under these same circumstances, it would be open and shut, and that's it. But because it's the president, and because the president was a leftist, and because the assassin was a leftist too, it broke the brains of the media. It broke the brains of people like Oliver Stone and everybody else who just can't come to terms with the fact that they're the bad guys. And everything that they want is evil and un-American. And everything
that I agree with.
Have preached. Do you know why Lee Harvey Oswald was radicalized? Because he was in New York City and there were a bunch of fucking leftists who were handing out pamphlets. They were pamphleteering saying that the Rosenbergs were innocent and that the United States government was evil because they were going to execute some very innocent individuals. These communists radicalized young Oswald at the age of 15. We see this happening all the time we see this happening now on Twitter. We see political radicalization, and then these people become Antifa, and they're burning down banks and police cars. And still, we've got other conservatives who don't recognize what this is. This is just that. Don't blame the government. Blame leftism. Blame radical leftism. Blame communism. A communist killed the president.